Do you ever feel like anxiety just sneaks up on you out of nowhere? You're just going about your day and suddenly you experience this nervous tension that's just sitting there in the background. You might even think to yourself, I'm not even worrying about anything right now. Why do I feel this way? The thing is, people in those situations typically are worrying. They've just gotten so good at it that they don't even notice that it's happening. And this is one of the big problems in worry management because you can't manage or learn how to control your worries if you're not aware about what you're worrying about. So far in our worry management series, we've talked about a basic model of worry. We have a trigger situation. It can be either an internal trigger, it can be an external trigger. And that trigger situation leads to a series of what I call the what if questions. And you get this spiraling of what if questions, either the same what if question looped over and over and over again, or you have one what if question leading to another what if question, leading to another what if question. And it's this chaining and spiraling of what if questions that is the process that leads to worry. And the emotional response and the emotional result of worry is anxiety. And so as people go through this process day after day after day, trigger what if worry anxiety, trigger what if worry anxiety, trigger what if worry anxiety. By the end of the day, they're feeling demoralized and exhausted. So that's our basic engine, our basic model of worry. So the purpose of worry awareness training to become better aware of what you're worrying about is to help give you a better sense of this process while it's happening. So you can think of worry awareness training as a foundational tool for worry management. And worry awareness training, it's really about becoming more conscious of what you're worrying about and and from that, gaining a better understanding of how worry shows up for you. So when I'm explaining this to my clients, they often tell me, hey, look, I already know what I'm worrying about. I don't need to spend more time thinking about my worries. But what I found is that many people only know the surface of their worry experience. They're aware of the big, obvious ones. But what they miss is how automatic and pervasive their worry habits have become. For some people, worry happens so automatically that they don't even notice it. These are what I call highly efficient worriers. They've they've worried so much that it just runs in the background like an app that's in the background of your phone that's draining the phone battery without you realizing it. These clients often describe feeling anxious without even being able to pinpoint why. They often call it free floating anxiety. But what's really happening is that their worry has become so automatic that they've lost track of it. And this is where worry awareness training really comes in. So, at its core, worry awareness training is really like kind of shining a spotlight on your worries so that you can see them clearly. Instead of letting your worry run on autopilot, you take note of it, you're breaking it down, and you're examining it. And this helps give you a clearer picture of what I refer to as the unique worry fingerprint, the specific ways that worry shows up for you. And the tool I use to help improve worry awareness in my clients is called a worry diary. And it's a relatively simple way of tracking worries and gathering insights about your anxiety. So the thing about a worry diary is that it doesn't involve you having to keep track of every single worry that you have, because that would be overwhelming and quite honestly unrealistic. But rather, the worry diary is about taking a sample of your worries throughout the day. So the idea is you pick 3 times a day. I usually encourage people sometime in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, sometime in the evening. And I usually tell people to set an alarm that goes off every day at those various times. And when the alarm goes off, you pull out the worry diary and you write down a few things. And so the worry diary collects all sorts of information about your worry process. So in the worry diary, you're going to write down the date and the time, and then the situation. what's happening around you. Where are you? What's going on? What this does is it helps you identify the context or the potential triggers for your worry. So you've written down the time, you've written down the situation. Now the idea is to think about what is it that I'm worrying about right now? And you want to write down the what if thoughts you're having. So, for example, what if I make a mistake at work? What if something goes wrong with my health? So you've written down the worry. Now the idea is to rate how anxious are you feeling on a scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is no anxiety at all associated with this worry, and 10 is extreme anxiety associated with this worry. And the last thing in the worry diary is to write down the type of worry. Is this a type 1 worry, which is a worry about current, actual, real problems? Or is it a type 2 worry, which is a worry about a future or potential problem? Now, sometimes worries can start out as a type 1 worry, and as they spiral into those what ifs, they spiral into a type 2 worry. You might notice this as you do a worry diary. In that case, you write down that it's both a type 1 and a type 2. So, for example, this could be something that is recorded in my worry diary. It's Wednesday, January 17th. It's 3:30 p.m. And the trigger, the situation is I'm at work and I feel a pain in my stomach. And my worries, my what ifs are, what if this is something serious and I have cancer? What if I lose my job because I need treatment? That's a pretty scary thought. It's a pretty anxiety provoking thought. And so my anxiety rating is an 8. And type of worry? Well, this is a type 2 worry. I haven't been diagnosed with cancer yet. I don't have cancer. At least I don't know I have cancer. So it's not an actual problem that I'm dealing with. So that's a hypothetical potential problem, which is a type 2 worry. So the idea is you do this worry diary. You keep track of the samplings of your worry multiple times a day for a week or two. And what ends up happening is you have this detailed record of your worry patterns, which is really, really important information. You might notice certain things that you never realized before. Are there times of day when you tend to worry more than other times of day? Are there specific triggers that consistently lead to worry? Do certain worries pop up repeatedly, kind of like the greatest hits album of anxiety? Um, the diary can also identify worries that might not seem like that big of a deal individually, but they add up. So, for instance, you might be aware of your worries that are an 8, 9, or a 10. But as you do the worry diary, what you might notice is that there are a lot of smaller ones, like 3 or 4 rating worries. And these just kind of contribute to a general background hum of anxiety that you may not have considered before because you never really paid much attention to these sort of moderate but lower level worries. The worry diary can also give you a better sense of the types of worries that you have. Are most of your worries type 1 worries? Are they about current problems? Or are most of your worries type 2 worries? Are they more about sort of future or hypothetical worries? For a lot of people, they have a mix of both type 1 and type 2 worries. But understanding this breakdown, understanding all of these details about your worry can give you a much clearer sense of your worry experience and where your worry is coming from. Essentially, what you're doing with worry awareness training is that you're excavating your worry, you're dusting it off, and you're examining it. And in doing so, you're getting so much more information about your worry than you may have ever known. Worry awareness training is a foundational skill for all of the other worry management skills that you're talking about. Because if you don't know what you're worrying about, it's impossible to actually manage your worries. So I'd encourage you to give worry awareness training a try. And I'll provide a link in the description below so that you can download an example of a worry diary if you want to try working on this. And if you're interested in learning more about how uncertainty plays a role in this worry process, I'll encourage you to check out the next video in the series up here once it's posted. So that's all for today's video. As always, Thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one.